So I hope you fantastic video, and in this tutorial happens to be the continuation of the course EDU212, and we're talking about social certification into this tutorial. All right. Well, I'm going to be expanding on what it means by social certification and what it means and what are the agents of social certification. With this being said, let's just get into it. But just before we go straight into it, for those of you who are new to the stream, do want to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, do want to join our private class where we walk you through all your courses throughout the semester, taking them one step at a time, setting you up for your exams throughout the semester, without leaving any stone unturned. Do want to reach out to us today on www.tutorial.com, where you get to use the WhatsApp button on the top right hand corner, which directly to our DM. You can make your inquiries and we can add you up to the private class, having you after you've responded to the requirements. This being said, let's go straight to the point. So we have EDU212, and we are taking social stratification. All right, we are taking social all right, stratification. All right, so now we'll talk about social all right, stratification. What are we talking about? Okay, when you hear the term social stratification, what are we referring to? We're going to be taking this one step at a time. Now we have just a moment. Okay, social stratification. Now, when we say social stratification, what are all right, stratification? Okay, well, we're going to be expanding on what it means by stratification and how. Okay, and how this affects the society. Okay, how it affects the society and what makes it stratification. Now, but just before we go straight into things, give me a moment. So let's just make some changes here. Just now, have you ever wondered that in the same society, let's not even talk about society. Society is quite wide. Okay, have you ever wondered that in the same family, some persons are treated with some preferential difference, okay, compared to others? When I said preferential difference, I'm talking about some of their entitlement, all right, or the way they are being referred to or regarded is quite different from some other persons. Okay, have you ever wondered why that is? Now, this is all about ranking. Okay, a system by which a society does what? Rank categories of people in a hierarchy. All right, people are being categorized according to their level of importance. Okay, that's the point. According to the level of hierarchy. Now, one thing we need to understand first that here is a system. Okay, so let's note that a system, and this system is all about, okay, a system by which a society, all right, a system by which a society ranks categories of people, or let's just ranks certain people, all right, by what? Or in rank certain people in a hierarchy. Now, one thing we need to hold on to when it comes to the definition of social stratification, or what it means by social stratification, is that we have All right. Sorry, that was a thing. I think I tripped there. Okay, I think it's better now. Now we have hierarchy. Okay, we have personalities, and we have society. Now let's take more points. The concept of social stratification could be related to the what? Classic parable by who? George Orwell. Now, George Orwell made a parable. He stipulated, perhaps, this parable stipulates that all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the other. This speaks volume. Okay? All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than the others. Has this been able to what? Indirectly answered what we are talking about here? Now let's take more points. Socially more valuable, all right, than others. And the persons who perform more highly esteemed role are rewarded more highly. Now, let's take this point. It says that people, all right, when people are seen or termed more socially valuable, all right, than others. Okay, when people are seen or termed more socially valuable than others, okay, more seen and valuable than others. Therefore, they are highly esteemed. All right, take highly esteemed position. All right, and are rewarded more highly. And are rewarded more highly. Now we get to find out why is it like that? Why is that certain persons are regarded as more important than others in the society? All of this will definitely dissect properly. All right. But when we talk about social stratification, we are simply talking about that system that acknowledges that according to what Orwell says. Orwell says all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the other, meaning that everybody is born equally. Okay, but at one point or the other, some, though born equally or born as others were born, have been able to attain certain level. All right. So by attaining this certain level, they are therefore regarded as more important. They are therefore referred or seen as better or more esteemed than others. Therefore, they attain certain position and take better roles. All right, and they get better rewards. Okay, all of this will find out in today's class why it is what it is. Now, it says here that some individuals and groups are therefore rated higher. Okay, some individuals or groups are rated higher. Okay, than others, and such differences in rating reflects differences in opportunity and privilege. So now, like I said, this is all what social stratification is all about. When some people, when some persons are rated or treated differently and specially based on their level of achievement and based on how much they've achieved in their lifetime. So therefore, they are given better positions, they are given better roles, all right, in the society, and they get better reward. So very quickly, let's talk about the agents. Okay, agents, all right, agents of social stratification. So now, the very first agents we have here, we have the family. Okay, the family is said to be the very first agent of social stratification. Now, the family plays the most significant role in the development of an individual. Okay, this is one thing we've established in our previous class where we talked about the very first line of education the child gets is from the family. Okay, now, Friend, according to Friend, he believes that the impression made upon the child's personality as an adult, all right, is as a result of the family. All right, the impression a child gets as an adult is basically the effort of the family. All right, the environment plays its own. The environment has its effects, quite all right. School has its effects, quite all right. But the major, all right, when you see a child out there, all right, whatever that child is, the major quarter of what made that child what he is or what she is as a result of the training, all right, the constructive, all right, and intention personality made by the family, all right, impression made by the family makes that child what that child is. Now, there are also factors of social environment that may affect a child, like I said, right? But all of that can still not get the level of what the family contributes to a child's life. All right. So a child from a lower class. So now speaking of social stratification, all right. So a child from a lower class, all right, the chances that the child from a lower class get to the level of social stratification, all right, getting, we talked about um, getting to a position of achieving a lot, and basically it's tied to education, and which therefore different family whereby we refer to as lower class. All right, lower class, and we have the upper class. Now, definitely, we've seen stories, we've seen cases whereby children from the lower class were able to make their way to the top. All right, very, very true. But we're just trying to see, we're trying to relate facts here. Now, can you compare a child whereby from a very tender age, from this class, a child from this class, which is the upper class, whereby from a very tender age, the child has been exposed to books, all right, has been exposed to books, exposed to a lot of educational content, all right, therefore helping that child to build, okay, helping that child to build his or her mentality, all right. Speaking of the kind of diet such a child eats, okay, all of these work together, and definitely such a child will tend to understand how very the child from the lower class, all right, that doesn't to, all right, a lot of helpful contents to help them develop so fast or build their formative stage properly. All right, so it's basically what it is. But like I said, okay, so it says here that blood poor educational background, all right, such a child is limited. Okay, so very highly is limited. Now, if like we said, making a comparison about the education, all right, you are exposed to good educational content in your formative stage, you're able to get graduate from the university at a very tender, at a very good reasonable age, all right, therefore the higher education you have been acquire, become a professional and get it. Unfortunately for somebody from this part of the world who hasn't gotten a reasonable amount of good education definitely will not be able to get a good paying job according to the material. All right, but basically, we all know what is going on today. All right, like I said, okay, education is beyond just sitting, going to school and getting the certificate. All right, when we talk about education, we're still talking about your skill. All right, and how do you get the skill is through education, by through learning something. Now, the fact that you've been able to get some, or you've been able to acquire certain skills in a particular field, or you've been able to gather, you've been able to acquire, all right, you've been able to amass enough education in a particular field. So it makes you a specialist, or it makes you okay. So for somebody in a situation like that, definitely person will acquire a lot of skill, will definitely get to the level whereby is well acknowledged in the society, takes higher decisions, positions, and roles in the society. Okay, so such a person will definitely, all right, be acknowledged as a very important person in society. Okay, so basically, it is what it is. So we have family. So also, okay, we also have we also have as well. Now, social stratification within the school. All right, social stratification within the school. All right, is commonly known as streaming, which refers to the what division of school children into age groups according to ability and intelligence. So definitely in school too, we still um have things like the one we have the private and we have the public school. All right. So in private schools you get parents pay a lot of money, all right, just because of a lot of things are made available to make education easy. All right. When I say easy, conducive, all right, a little bit more palatable for children, all right. Even though it's the same syllabus, the same curriculum that these schools use, but it's a different thing entirely when we talk about the private school and some and public school in some countries, all right. I can speak of Nigeria, all right. We can't compare some schools whereby parents pay millions of naira, all right, compared to schools whereby even in the public school probably maybe like hundred of thousands, compared to schools whereby parents pay millions of naira, even though it's the same thing that they are teaching them, all right, but the environment is different, all right. So now it is believed that you know students or children that are privileged to, all right, to get their education from this level, okay, tends to acquire a lot of skill, tends to acquire a lot of knowledge, and therefore make them get to certain level in life easily and quickly. All right, compared to where we had the public school, whereby children from this level, definitely we've seen stories whereby they've been able to get to the top, all right, to the pinnacle of their dream. But definitely, you know that it's a lot of toil, it's a lot of effort and a lot of energy just to get to the top. But basically, according to what we are studying, social stratification, okay, it is what it is. So we also have another agent where we talked about, all right, we talk about occupation. All right, we talk about occupation as well. Now, another occupation, still on what we are talking about, the better skill you have, all right, the more skill you have, or the um, more knowledge you have about certain things, earns you that position, earns you that job. All right. So, like I said, the level of education you have acquired about a particular profession, or about a particular skill, or about a particular uh, line of career sets you apart. Just like we have somebody who studied for about 7 years, and somebody studied for about 4 years. All right. So now for this, we can have a doctor. All right. Maybe for 4 years, we can have what can we maybe um sales assistant. Okay. Now you cannot, even though the both of them went to the university, all right, someone from here studied 4 years, the kind of job he might be getting, all right, might not be as standard as someone who went to school to study for 7 years. Okay. And even you are studying for 4 years, definitely you can still follow your education. And but what I'm trying to say here is that even in occupation, there are some persons that get paid well, better, live better life than other persons because of what? because of their level of education. And don't forget, I've said it earlier that education is not just by going to university alone, right? It's by fortifying yourself, right, in getting sufficient knowledge, right, sufficient skill, right, sufficient education, sufficient learning about a particular profession, trade, career, or skill, right? So now this man here gets paid more because of what he has to offer. The doctor here gets paid well because of what he has to offer. Sales assistant or sales rep also get paid based on what he has to offer. So the more important, the better it is you have to offer, right? The more nice things and good or you are bringing to the table, then the chances that you will get that level whereby you are well acknowledged in the society. Okay, so we have basically that as that. Okay, so we also have social class and educational attainment. Okay, we have been talking about this, is what I've been talking about since that for you to get to that social class, for social class, okay, we are simply talking about uh, a class whereby we have the average given people there, and talking about the educational attainment, very, very important because that is what sets you aside. That is what makes you stand out. All right. Educational attainment, I keep saying it's not just about having your master's and everything. Definitely having your master's PhD is good. But probably you're a doctor, you're a lecturer, a professor. It makes you stand out. All right. It makes you well respected and acknowledged in the society. Right. But basically, it's all about what you have to offer. All right. Be it a doctor, a professor, a teacher, an engineer. It is basically what you have to offer, and that is what determines how well you will be acknowledged and respected in society, all right, or wherever you find yourself. Okay, so we have that as that. So, like I said here, all right, social class, a division of society based on social and economic status. All right, when we talk about social class, it's a division, okay, whereby people are divided to determine how well you will be respected. The social status will determine what position, what benefits, all right, what privileges you will get, okay. And to get to improve your social status, like we have been saying, you have to get a level whereby you have been equipped, you've been able to get a reasonable level of educational achievement. All right, so we have that as that. So some of the implication of social stratification is that attention. All right, you get a lot of attention, you attract a lot of attention. All right, just like we talked about here, as according to what we have in the material. All right, we know cases some countries whereby based on kind of person you are, or the kind of level of education attainment you've achieved. All right, you are treated with preference. Okay, you get to a place, you are well respected and attended to because of the kind of person you've been able to build yourself to, all right, the kind of stature you've been able to build and mass for yourself. All right. So we have that as that. I think we'll call it up here for tonight. I think with few more classes, we should be done with the course, and we're going to be taking our next class, social values. Okay, education and social values. Thank you very much, everyone. I believe you'll be able to gain something from this class. Please let's go to our notes, send them to the appropriate quarter so we can monitor our progress. Look forward to all subsequent tutorials. Bye for now.